Welcome back. For 6 full days, our community and our country said farewell to the 41st President of the United States, George Herbert Walker Bush. Widely hailed for his devotion to family, faith, and the good of the nation, his best friend, former Secretary of State Jim Baker, said, quote, "He was a leader and he knew it." The accomplishments of Bush 41 were numerous and significant. The skillful nonviolent close to the Cold War, the expulsion of Saddam Hussein from from Kuwait, and passage of the landmark Americans with Disabilities Act, to name just a few. I wanted to give Tomaro Bell an opportunity to give us some of your thoughts.
What I admired most about President Bush is his faith. He knew he had been saved by the grace of God when he was in that ocean. He knew that no one rescued him but the Lord, and he never, ever forgot it. And it was his guidance. He never wanted God to feel ashamed for selecting him to save and show his mercy and grace. And to the Bush family, my deepest condolences. You all have a great one.
Amen. Bob Price.
You know, from a resume perspective, there was probably never a more qualified man to take the oath of office as President of the United States. I ran into the President at a polling location in 2010 during early voting. And, you know, you would think that when a former president walks in, he could go straight to the front of the line and vote, but he didn't do that. He had one of his staff people wait in line because he couldn't stand that long at that time. And that person went through the line, and when it came his turn, he got up, went and voted. And I was honored to salute him as he drove off and left.
Nyanza Moore.
I have to say that, you know, presidents usually try to concern themselves with their second term instead of getting the job done right in the first term. I think that we had 41 change the face of planet Earth, how the countries align without having to blow everything up. He did it with integrity and grace, and he's still worried about the disabled. He's still worried about the environment, and he's still worried about other people. You never want, he was concerned about immigration reform before we started talking about walls. He was concerned about everyone. You know, it's kind of like when they had Robert F. Kennedy and J.F. Kennedy take the train ride. You know, people came out from their back doors, black, white, Asian, Hispanic, just to be able to salute the president. And I feel like, you know, grace has left the White House, and I hope that the presidents that come after this administration will take a cue from 41. Sometimes you only need one term as the president to change the world.
Well said. Jessica Colon.
You know, this week, 6 days of mourning is longer than inaugurations. And I think that the impact of Bush's legacy grew on everyone as the week progressed, as opposed to fading out. The train ride has, you know, was something that people all across America and across the world watched, and we all watched it on Facebook. It feels like every half mile we had a picture from somebody watching that train get to A&M. I want to say thank you to the Bush family for putting together an amazing series of events this week that everyone felt so connected to. 42,000 people were at the Capitol Rotunda. We had people in line at St. Martin's for hours on end. People often ask when I first got involved in politics, and my first position was as secretary of my high school Young Republicans during Bush's presidency. So you know, I always am fond of the Reagan-Bush era, and I think what we saw this week, Jim McGrath and many of our friends put together for America to honor this president who, from the greatest generation. We saw all the generations pay their respect.
Got to leave it there. Still ahead, the plague of clergy abuse strikes Houston's Catholic diocese. Will an ongoing investigation reveal decades of cover-up? Plus, a shameful number for the Lone Star State, which leads the nation in leaving children uninsured. Stick around. We're going to talk about it.